Have you ever heard somebody say that you can't properly tune a bow without the shooter in the shop? Well, today I'm going to show you and talk to you about how I tune bows shipped in from all across the country every single year, and show you that when it's done properly and when the right steps are taken, that this method can definitely be a viable option for getting your bow tuned, whether it's from me or somebody else that does shipped in bow tuning. It works as long as you let it work. So let's dive into today's topic. Some of the most important things when it comes to shipped in bow tuning is information. I need a lot of information from my customers and my clients, and that information comes in a lot of different ways. So a few things that I like to talk about when I first get an order for a shipped in bow is I like to reach out to that customer and go, hey, I got your order. Here's some questions I have, and let me know if you have any questions for me. Some of these questions, especially if you have an existing bow and you're getting a new bow and I didn't work on your last bow, but I'm gonna work on this new bow, I need to get some measurements off the old bow so that I can make it feel and shoot as good as it can. So if you're a 28-inch draw length, but your bow actually measures 28 1/4, I want to know that, and I can walk you through how to get those measurements. I also need to get certain measurements to make sure that your peep goes back into the same exact location that it was on your previous bow so that you have the most consistency. We're also going to talk about, grip stance, collapsing, draw length, shot process, what you want to do with the bow. Are you going to hunt with it out of a tree stand with a 20-30 yard shot and a big fixed blade? Are you taking it out west on an elk hunt or a mule deer hunt? Are you going up to Alaska and you're going to hunt grizzly bear with it? Are you going over to Africa? Let's talk about this stuff and nail this down so that you don't have to visit me more than once. I don't want to see my clients more than once in a year unless they get another bow and they want me to work on it. Then yeah, of course I want to see you, I want to help you out. But I don't want you guys to have to come back to get things tweaked and changed over and over and over. I want to do a one and done, have that conversation and break it down so that you guys are getting the best service. Communication is super important because if a shooter has grip torque, they're collapsing, they don't have a consistent anchor, all of that stuff is going to show up in your arrow flight. No matter how good I tune the bow, all of that stuff is gonna affect how that arrow flight is if it's not correct. So part of what I do isn't just tuning your equipment, it's helping develop repeatable habits that make your tune really shine and give you a little bit more forgiveness when you're on the range, when you're hunting, so on and so forth. When you ship a bow to me, you're not just getting just the tune, but you also have the opportunity to message, video call me on the phone, and have those conversations to nail down why you might be having specific issues so that I can help create more consistent and repeatable habits for you moving forward. Because if you have a grip torque and I tune your bow with a neutral standard grip stance, set the pre-lean, get everything dialed, and it's shooting bullet holes at 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 yards with a bare shaft through paper, and you get your bow back and you're shooting a knock left tear, we need to figure out why. And 9 out of 10 times I can solve that with a simple grip fix or a shot process fix that will help you be more consistent and more accurate in the long run. It's also super important to know that this system and this tuning process that I use is not a magic wand. The system only works if you're willing to participate in the system. Kind of like going to the gym. If you just sit on the couch and expect to get a six-pack of abs, it's probably not gonna happen, okay? So if you wanna become a better archer and you want to have the tools and the knowledge to do this stuff maybe on your own in the future, or just be more confident in the woods, then this system will probably work for you. However, even in person, in the shop, there's no one size fits all permanent solution to tuning a bow. If you've ever left a pro shop, went home, screwed on a broadhead and watched things go sideways, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The difference here is you're getting the tune, you're getting the coaching, and you're getting the follow-up adjustments. With those three pieces together, the adjustments at the end of this tend to be minor. I've never had anybody have to move more than 3 or 4 clicks on their rest to get everything to fall in line. And I've talked about it in other videos where center shot, you can adjust your rest up to like 5 clicks and your center shot adjustment won't even change. So those are just small adjustments that are taking into account your grip versus the grip that I'm using in the shop. But it's so close that it's only a 1 to 3 click variance one way or another. Once we dial in the macro problem of your grip stance, your shot process, collapsing, draw length, all these other different factors that could be at play. Not saying that they are at play, but they could be at play. About 7 out of 10 of my clients, they get their bow back, they shoot a broadhead and a field tip, and it hits together. The other 3 out of 10 are the ones that I end up having those phone call conversations with, diving into what's going on with their setup and really reworking their form to be more consistent archers and developing those good repeatable habits. Now, about grip, I tend to teach a rather neutral and repeatable grip. When you get this grip down and dialed in, whether you have a high wrist grip, a low wrist grip, or a more neutral, natural grip, you're gonna get very, very similar results through paper. I have videos on my channel covering the grip stance that I teach, and I'll probably rework that video and update it as I see fit. Now, the only bows that tend to be a little bit more sensitive to grip pressure are the 3-track cam systems like Bowtechs, the older Elites, the older Hoyts. Those can be a little bit more finicky when it comes to grip stance, and we'll talk about those things if that's a bow that you have and it is a 3-track system. I would say typically those 3 out of 10 people that I end up working with on grip, they're shooting a 3-track cam system, and that's why we're working on the grip to move forward and get them the results that they're looking for. Now, this is also a common question I get all the time. I'm left-handed, I'm a left-handed archer. Yes, I am left-handed. However, I've been tuning bows for a long time. I can shoot right-handed and left-handed up to 80 pounds and 32 inches of draw length. For tuning, what matters is the grip pressure on the riser and a clean shot break. Not whether or not your anchor looks perfect, whether your peep is aligned, all these other things. As long as I can get to full draw and I can get a good grip set and execute a good shot, that's all I need in order to know that that bow is tuned properly with a good grip stance. I do it all the time with 32-inch draw length people, 80 pounders, right-handed bows, etc., etc. Now, diving into what we actually do with the bow is, you guys have seen like some setup videos that I have on my channel. I set every bow to manufacturer specification for ATA, brace height, draw weight. I set the draw length exactly where it needs to be, not just on a mod hole. I will put the peep exactly where it was on your previous bow or on the existing bow if we're doing a restring and a tune. And then I'm gonna put knock sets on there. I'm gonna make sure that your knock has proper knock fit on the center serving. And if it doesn't, I'll cut that center serving right off, put new center serving on it, and make sure that you're getting a proper knock fit. Put the knock sets on, put the D-loop on, retime your rest. We're gonna sync the cams and time the cams, and then we're gonna start shooting it through paper after making sure that that pre-lean on your cams is correct. And I'm gonna rotate that bear shaft to 4 different positions, knock tune that arrow essentially, and make sure that we're tuning to the best tear. Another thing to note with this tuning method is when you get your bow back, you gotta remember I knock tuned these arrows to get the best results for you. So it's not uncommon for guys to get the arrows and start shooting, and the ones that they sent me shoot great, but their other ones don't. You gotta knock tune those arrows to get everything to fall in line. That solves a lot of problems for people. And now if you knock tune them all, they're all flying the same, but you're still getting broadhead flight that's off to the side, give me a call. We'll take care of it. I'll get you squared away. There's no limit to the amount of time that it's gonna take for me to make sure that you are happy and that you're getting the results that you want. As far as the results for this method, I've been doing what the industry says is impossible for the last 5 years, and I have less than a 1% rework rate out of all the bows that I work on. So I will say that it is vitally important with shipped in bow tuning services that I do every single step, every single time. I don't cut corners. I don't skip steps to save time. I have to do it this way. Otherwise it will not work with the way that I'm telling you that it works if I skip steps. So it's vitally important that I make sure that everything is dialed in making better bow hunters, more consistent archers. If you guys got value out of this video, or you even just have more questions about how the process works, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below and I'll answer them when I get some time. Or you can reach out to me on Instagram at Bergie Bowsmith or on Facebook at Bergie Bowsmith. We also have a new Facebook group called Bergie Bowsmith Bow Talk. Go over there, check it out. There's going to be a bunch of stuff posted in there. There's like 350 members in there right now. And we're going to talk everything from tuning, setups, arrow builds, hunting strategies, anything bow hunting, anything archery will be in that group. I'll also announce promotions for K2 Arrow Company and Bergie Bowsmith in that group, as well as on my other social media platforms. So check that out. It's a free group. You don't have to pay nothing to be a part of it and get information every single day. But with that being said, that's the end of today's video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.